Today we're gonna go and try to paint Thor, Hero of Midgard. So it was fun model to put together. Now I'll start going with the first colors and we're gonna go, I'll walk you through step by step how to paint him. So the first color on Thor, and I'm using the Citadel Paints, will be Incubi Darkness. And if you don't have it, try to get like a water palette. That was the best thing I ever got. And remember to water it down to make it, thin coats. And we're gonna go over pretty much just the cloth pieces that gonna go right on his chest. Right, so it's gonna be pieces right on the chest. We're gonna do the same color for his boots. All of this is gonna go on the boots, and I have already watered it down, so that's why it's so light yet. And remember about hand wraps or whatever that is around his wrists, that will be same color coding. And I'll come back to you once I finish applying that coat. So Incubi Darkness is applied. I pretty much go, when I paint first colors, I just go quick and apply it just uniformly. And now it's gonna get a little bit harder, but we're gonna go to the next color. Now we're gonna go with pretty much the almost major color. Right after the Incubi Darkness, we're gonna go with Lead Bircher. That's the silver metallic from Citadel. And we're gonna go, all the chainmail metal pieces of the surface, like on the pants, helmet, and of course Mjolnir. And at the same time, we're also gonna go and pick up those armor chest pieces. The center, we can come back later to clasp and so on after we do the bells, but all those armor chest pieces, we can already start doing the circles on them. This is after painting Thor with Lead Bircher, so we got pretty much all our metal sections and chainmail completed, and we're gonna come back to do a touch up of few places. Next color on Thor is going to be Mornfire Brown. We're gonna pretty much do it on all the belt pieces, right there. Right belt right here. Other belt, and then that chest piece strap. So all the pieces, example here. All this, and the strap on Mjolnir itself. And then we're gonna come back right Mjolnir itself. And then we're gonna come back to the next color. So we're done with Mornfire Brown. So we did the belt pieces right there. We did the strap across his chest and also the Mjolnir leather straps. And that's pretty much it for Brown. Now we're gonna go to Thor's skin. So we're gonna do, this is gonna be small. We're gonna go into his face and his hands. And that's pretty much it. All that's gonna be on the skin tone. Okay, we got Thor's hands and face painted, and we're gonna go to the next color. And now we're gonna go to reds. So we're gonna go for entire cape at once. So that's pretty much the only red on the miniature. So after that, we're gonna have our main red done. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the cape for now. So we're gonna go to the next color, and you just make sure you're gonna put 2 coats of red to make sure it's gonna come out smooth and with no growth. Next color on Thor, and it's gonna be pretty quick. It's gonna be Averland Sunset, and it's gonna go on his hair. And that's the only portion where that goes. Thor's hair is done. So after that, we're gonna start doing some smaller details. So the next one is gonna be the Celestial Gray. That's the whitish that I'm using. The pure white, it's not really that nice looking when you do it in muted colors like I am. So it's gonna go right onto his wings, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so we are done with Celestial Grey, so the wings are completed. The only thing that has to now get touched up back with Liberature is just the clasp right in the middle, and that's pretty much it. Okay, now we're gonna move to Thor Gold. So we're gonna start with the simpler one. That's the belt clasp, which we're gonna do in gold right there. And then the individual lines connecting him, which you're gonna have to be careful, but once they're done, we're gonna go over everything there. That's the lines I'm talking about, right there. So gold on Thor is done, so you can see the gold on Thor is done, so you can see the belt clasp and the armor lines with gold. And now we're going to the last base color. After that you can say the miniature is tabletop ready. It's gonna be blue on all of the lighting. So after this blue, we're pretty much set. This could be called tabletop ready model. There is few simple steps that I'll show you more, but you could end it here and it's beautiful model just to put on the table. Okay, we're gonna start shading. So we're gonna take we're gonna start with metal pieces. So we're gonna take Nuln Oil and we're gonna apply it to all the metal pieces. Don't worry, just put a lot of it to get into all those grooves in there. Go heavy on it, let it all fill in. So Nuln Oil is applied, all the metal pieces, so you can see how it fills in those grooves and pops the entire chainmail and the hammer and handle. Next one is Rakeland Flesh Shade. That's gonna go on the face, hair and those wings. So all the skin tones like hands, hair tones and wings on the helmet. Be generous, but do not overfill over the face because it's gonna get too deep, but it gives you all the features of the face. As you can see, it's pulling into those grooves and you can see face already popping up. So you can see all the detail popping up in the face, hands and hair, and then helmet wings, so you can start seeing all the grooves. Now we're gonna apply Cardboard Crimson to all the recesses in the cape. You can fill the entire cape, or you can go and find the grooves and all the recess parts, and then you can fill this generously with the shade. So it's gonna look something like this. Then we can come back. If you want to leave it after shading, I would recommend just shading entire cape. It's gonna look more uniform, more weathered, but that's pretty much your choice, whichever way, how many steps you want to take. So we applied the shade to his cape and you can see all the dark recesses, and you could leave the miniature as is right now. It looks pretty cool. You'll see all the details and everything is there, but there is few most next steps if you want to keep going. Okay, so the first step of doing the highlights, we're gonna take Mephiston Red and we're gonna go over his cape. So we're gonna go over all these pieces that are raised up and we're gonna make the color even. So you're gonna go smoothly and just apply it, avoid the darkest spots of grooves. And once you have something like going here next to those lines going right there, you leave the dark spot right there and you're gonna go over the other side. And once we have that done, we're gonna come back. It's just red cape that you go over. We got cape done, so as you can see the cape is right there. You can see recesses being dark compared to everything else. And we're gonna go to the next color. Okay, the next one is Overland Sunset. We're gonna go back over the hair and create like a hair strands by going over the raised parts. Go over slowly and carefully, and you're gonna get nice looking hair strands. And I'll be back to show you final product in a minute. Okay, we are done with the yellow, so you can see highlights on her. So it's small on this Thor, but that is always good to do the hair because it makes the miniature pop out pretty good. I think this is gonna be the last base highlight on Thor. So we're gonna go with Cadian Flesh Tone, and we're gonna go over the face, like chin itself, lips, nose, and go very slowly and carefully, and you can get the most detail out of the face. Do the same for hands, like individual fingers, and go over the entire flesh color right back there. So we're done with flesh tone. I think the best way to show it is on his hand. You can see how it's darker in the center, for example, between the fingers, and on the top of the hand, holding the hammer, each finger. Okay, we're gonna take Evan's Scarlet and we're gonna paint the raised pieces, so, and do some details. So you can do small lines, but mostly focus on really raised up pieces of the miniature. And once you have all of this done, like this one, then it's gonna look like a nice transition of colors. We highlighted the cape. You can see slight lines right over the edges, and we're gonna go to the next highlight, which for my level might be the last. Is either gonna do cloth and maybe the skin. We'll see. We got next highlight to do, which is Ashen Gray, which is gonna go all over the raised pieces on his body armor and the muscles. So we're gonna go and we're gonna do a small highlights right there to show more texture on the miniature, like this. So you can see small grooves right there, which is gonna make the miniature pop. Okay, we've done the details on the chest, so you can see slight highlights, muscles popping up, and that I will be calling Thor. So I'm done with the base. I do them very simple. I go Mechanical Standard Gray, and I go with Argax Earth shade over it, and I do the rim, and I call it done.